And we're live with the Wikid Weekend podcast. Welcome, guys. Episode 36. Getting up there in the double digits. I'm your host.
Quickly approaching our 40s here.
Yeah, right. Seriously, you're getting middle age, man. What can we do?
I don't know. Let me tell you, it's not all it's cracked up to be.
For sure, I feel you.
I'm your host. No, go ahead. Well, I guess we should introduce ourselves. I'm Michael. I'm one of the co-founders of Wikid Publishing, and today we're joined by a couple creators. So why don't you guys introduce yourselves for those who might not know you?
Chuck?
Yeah, sure. Hey, I'm Chuck. I'm from Sporkman Studios. Hopefully, we'll be joined here from my partner Eric here, and we are working on a project called Sporkman. Currently, Sporkman goes to Japan. Ginger actually just got some stuff to us last night. So we're hard working on issue 3. So she's almost done with issue 2 on the backgrounds, and she's already started working on a lot of the pages of issue 3 already. So hopefully soon. Man. Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, it's very close approaching, isn't it?
Yeah, I want to get it done because and I'm sure Eric is going to talk about this. I'm really excited to go into Sporkman on the High Seas. I actually am pursuing Studio Nice to join us as the artist.
Nice.
And
who is Studio Nice?
Studio Nice actually did some. He does a lot of anime themed stuff. Okay. He actually did some stuff for Brian Rags, and we really wanted to keep the theme. We felt that Sporkman kind of had. I think it works for Sporkman staying in the same art theme. Kind of that because of him being the parody of superheroes, kind of like My Hero with the parody of superheroes. He felt like I feel. And Eric does too. That the style works for him,
Okay.
because he is a match, of Sentai superheroes with regular heroes and stuff. So, and speaking of my partner, there he is.
Hello. I'm on. Okay, cool.
As long as the Wild Canalis.
Wild Canalis appears. How are you doing, guys?
Hey.
Good, man. How are you doing?
Surviving.
So anyhow, I just finishing up here. So I'll that's pretty much us and where we're at right now. So I'll toss it off to Jeremy or Eric or Canalis.
Okay.
We're
Jeremy
just
Lott.
introductions right now. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
I'm Jeremy Lott. I'm the writer and creator of Movie Man. And because of this little shutdown of the economy. My artist partner, Doug Curtis, is hard at work on issue number 2, which will be a crossover with Sporkman. So, I don't know the timeline on that yet, but it's going to be faster than I thought. Let's just say.
Well, I guess there's some benefit. I mean, for me, I work from home and I'm self-employed anyway, so nothing has really changed for me.
Yeah.
Well, oh god, it's crazy over here in California, man. I'm sure in Washington it's probably not great either, but we're on shelter-in-place orders.
Yeah.
So all the only essential businesses are open, and everything else is closed, and we're supposed to stay at home all the time.
It's similar to that here, except not quite so draconian.
We're like that in PA. We're pretty much we're in California here in PA.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I work at a bank, so I still have to go to work.
So are you guys like in lockdown and all that? Like only the essential businesses are open?
Yep.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Yep.
Yes, same
my
here.
business is considered essential, so unfortunately, they're not letting us work from home either, which is kind of lame.
I saw a great idea today. Someone said, "Hey, now that no one's really out and about, hey, wouldn't it be a great time to fill all the potholes?"
Though if you said that in Washington State, they'd fill them with pot.
They got enough of it, right?
Yeah.
But But yes, thank you, Jeremy, for joining us today.
Of course, yeah, happy to. So, where exactly are you located? Where approximately are you located, and what's it like over there right now?
Mm-hmm.
You mean here?
Yeah,
in Spain. Yeah.
I'm located more or less on the northeast side of the country. We're pretty close to France, so it's pretty much a full lockdown here. I mean, we have been ordered by the authorities not to leave our
No.
homes unless it's strictly necessary for taking out the trash or
Food.
walking the dog or whatever. Buying supplies and going to the pharmacy.
Yeah.
But apart from that, we
real quick.
Sorry?
Sorry to interrupt you. I didn't mean to interrupt you, but I just want to quickly ask, like, is it martial law, or is it not quite that bad?
It's pretty much martial law, except we don't call it like that. We call it a state of alert or national emergency. But yeah, it's pretty much martial law.
That's like that episode of South Park where like they were describing something and the kids go, "That's fascism," and the dad goes, "No, we don't call it that."
That's you get a point, because what really worries me. I'm not really worried about the virus. I mean, it's pretty survivable, right? I mean, I'm moderately young and moderately in shape, so there's no reason why I should succumb to it. But what really worries me is the authorities pulling a Palpatine and not letting go of all the power that they have accrued, using this situation as an excuse.
Yeah, that's a scary thought, isn't it?
Yeah,
I can see that, and I think the longer that things don't get back to normal, the closer we come to things getting out of hand, where people just start saying, you know what, screw this. I'm not going to listen to all this stuff. You know, life has to get back to normal. And really, my understanding of the virus is that it's not even as deadly as just like the regular flu that goes around every year. It's it's more contagious. And so
no, it's deadlier. It just hasn't spread. It hasn't spread as far.
But is it deadlier because more people can get it?
There's a higher rate of morbidity in the sense that
it's deadlier. It's deadlier. Oh, sorry. I was going to say that it's deadlier depending on your healthcare system. Yeah. We have almost as many infected people as in Germany here, and in Germany they have their dead in the dozens. We have like 1,000 and 1,300 dead here in Spain.
Yeah.
Okay, but the regular flu every year, how many people does that claim?
It's
pretty much it's pretty much like a mildly stronger flu, except it's more contagious.
Right. And that's what I'm saying. That's the biggest threat is that, okay, if you say everyone that gets the regular flu, a certain percentage will die from it, versus this, a certain percentage will die from it. Even if this would have a lower chance of death from getting it, the death toll may actually be higher just for the fact that a lot more people are getting it.
Look, there's a higher morbidity rate for this.
There's a reason for that. And the big reason for that is the fact that the incubation period is so much longer than the flu.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a problem, because
come on so quickly you can catch it or easily.
You can stay asymptomatic for up to like 2 weeks, and during that time you've been infecting everyone you've been having physical contact with, or like sneezing on their faces or whatever.
It's like a horror novel. But no,
right? It really is.
If you get the flu, your chances of dying are 1 in 1,000. If you get this, your chances of dying are at least 1 in 100.
And also depends on your age, though, and other factors as well, like health.
That's true.
I imagine. So
if you have a compromised, anybody with a compromised immune system is going to, So, but anyhow, let's go with positive stuff.
That just explains why we're all locked inside. But it is interesting to hear Ibai's perspective. I feel like, because we're here in the United States, we have our perspective, but it is interesting to hear from another country.
How pissed are you right now, Ibai?
Well, I don't get angry often, but I'm sulking.
Okay.
As someone said, as some Spanish YouTubers said recently, I what's the word? I accept it, but I don't like it. You know, I accept that there's probably a moderately dangerous pathogen going around out there, and that my best bet is to stay at home. But it pisses me off to know that this would have been avoidable if we had, closed our borders sooner, because I think we only closed our borders like last Wednesday.
Mm-hmm.
And we also celebrated several massive, insanely massive demonstrations regarding International Women's Day in Madrid, Barcelona, and Bilbao. Probably the biggest cities in the country. And ironically, or maybe not, the number of infected run parallel to the amount of people that attended the demonstrations in those cities. So had we not been so stupid, this could have been avoided. And this,
So
of course,
it was basically International Coronavirus Day.
yeah, that's what it was. That's what it. Yeah, remember that bit in like
Pre-coronavirus day.
28 weeks 28 weeks later, in which they put all the civilians in the same room, and then suddenly an infected barges in and starts biting everyone, and then immediately you have like an army of infected people. That's what it was. That's what happened.
That's crazy, man.
Good times.
We
But
should.
the one good thing. Sorry, go ahead, Nearby.
I was going to say that's what we shouldn't have done. Like, let all those people gather in a state of a pandemic emergency and all. We let that happen, and here's where we are now.
Yeah, that's true, man. That's crazy. But the one good thing that comes out of all of this is that we now have all these movies coming on demand. So I'm gonna go watch Invisible Man later today.
Huh.
So
did you guys
the
hear
last
about
one?
that?
Sorry, what was the movie?
Oh, Invisible Man. A bunch of Universal put out a bunch of their movies that were in theaters out on demand this week.
Yeah, no, I get that. I thought you said Missile Man. I'm like, that sounds fun.
Oh yeah. Oh no, I got Missile Man as well. Don't worry, I got that, man. But no, I'm not watching movies.
Is there a Missile Man? Because if not, I'm making it.
There's gotta be, right?
There's a Rocket Man, but I think they ever made a movie.
I am Missile Man.
My power is to launch myself against people and explode once.
One
time.
That's awesome.
Never done anything. The worst superhero ever.
Yeah. So can we talk about TwitterCon?
Yeah, dude. Let's do it. I've been curious about all the stuff I've been seeing.
All right, so I don't know what I am. The chief cheerleader for it. Let's call it that. What's called TwitterCon. So it's hashtag TwitterCon. And the idea as it started was all these comic book shows are getting canceled, and so you can't go and gather and buy comics there and like get art and stuff. Interact with creators.
Mm-hmm.
And so, to the greatest extent possible, let's replicate that online. And so I've been using this hashtag and trying to get others to use this hashtag. If you want to promote comics, and I don't care what comics they are. They can be Steven Universe, they can be Decimators, whatever. I don't care.
I'm cool with that.
Use TwitterCon as a hashtag. I urge you, as a way of showing people that this is out there. It'll be a homing beacon for people who really want to get comics or comic related things. Secondly, so many local comic shops are in trouble right now because they're being shuttered by order of the state, which we're not calling fascism. But a lot of them can have curbside pickup, or they can do home delivery or something like that. And when they announce that, I'm asking people to use TwitterCon as a way of showing people that, hey, you can get comics here if you're local. And so I really, some people have started using it. We need a whole lot more people to start using it. I was telling my wife that she said, when will this succeed? And I said, when people who I don't like start using it. It's got to become sort of widespread in order for it to succeed. And so I just urge people, when you're promoting comics on the Twitters, to use the hashtag TwitterCon.
Yeah, dude, I'm down for that. That sounds pretty cool to me. Kind of like an online Twitter convention to help promote all these artists and
exactly.
I was
That's
going to say, let's even do, like, I just tweeted out, like, if you're going to be doing a...
Holy shit! What
He just
happened?
Did
dropped.
we just lose him?
They got to him. They got to him.
Oh
We got the
god!
virus.
And they took him out. Oh
It's
god!
turned
He'll
into
be-
an
he'll be
internet
back,
virus now. No one's safe.
One of the he's back in.
Okay,
Alright, next.
sorry about that. I was going to say, if you're doing a stream, also that's comic related, so we can kind of like the panels. Put
Sure.
Twitter con. Put
Yeah,
Twitter
exactly.
con. Yeah. So that way, anything that's comic related, let's really blow this up. That way we can, really, push the medium hard, because this is really where indie comics could really blow up big time.
This is make or break, and this will hopefully help us to make it rather than break it.
Yep.
Yeah, man, that's a great idea. I'm gonna put it out right now in a tweet when I'm
Okay.
at this podcast, because that's a great idea, man.
Very cool.
So yeah, man, everyone should definitely check it out and use it as much as they can. A good way to help promote people, because like you said, a lot of people are kind of hurting right now. So
Oh
it'll
yeah,
be good.
it's horrible for so many people right now.
I know.
Well, especially like small business and sole proprietorships and stuff. I mean, for me, because most of my business is online and I work from home, it doesn't really affect me all that much. But like I have another friend who he has his own barber shop, and it's like he has to close now.
Yeah.
That's.
Yep.
That's unfortunate.
I have friends who they assume that they are not going to get any money, any more money, at least until April. So they're basically chipping slowly at their bank accounts to get by.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty scary. Yeah, like I was complaining earlier about still having to go to work, but I'm actually pretty grateful that I still get to go to work. So.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
I mean, a lot of people don't have money coming in. Governments are coming up with various bailout schemes, but let me just say that I think in most cases, it's not going to be the individuals that benefit the most from that.
Mm-hmm. True. But yeah, hopefully we can just all support each other and get through these times and still make some good comics while we're doing it, man.
Oh yeah, I it hasn't been published yet, but I'll do an update to Movie Men backers, and I'll just copy them. A political magazine that I write for, the American Spectator, they said we want to do something different on our blog. We don't want to do politics. We're sick of politics, honestly. That's our bread and butter. Fine, we will do that. But on our blog, we just want to write about what people are doing to have fun and stay sane during this time.
Wow.
And so I wrote a piece about how escapism is more necessary now than ever before.
Mhm.
Awesome, man.
Yeah,
That's cool,
I keep
man.
seeing articles that say which movies to watch during a pandemic confinement that are like 28 days later or Contagion, and I'm like, Jesus, man, don't you understand that people just want to evade?
Yeah.
Give them something else to talk about. Give them something else to occupy their minds with. Don't keep them going around and around over the same subject 24/7. It's going to drive them crazy.
No, like read some, not dystopian sci-fi. Read, fun comic books. Read, obviously Sporkman. That's a really
I'm
good
watching
one.
1980s Eddie Murphy movies now.
Yeah.
Well, now's a great time just to involve yourself in hobbies that maybe you didn't have time for, previously.
Yeah.
Right? There's plenty of good time for that.
Yeah. I mean, one of the things
Gundam building, woohoo!
a lot of us complain we don't have enough time. Well, we have time now, so maybe use that well.
My time actually has been sucked up by I'm in my last 8 weeks or 7 weeks now of school, and I'm taking a cyber law class, and so far the last 2 weeks I've had at least 4 papers that are due for each week.
That's a serious load.
So yeah, so a lot of work.
Busy.
Yeah, but other than that, I mean, it's really, just making people aware of what is out there. Artists who need help. There are actually a lot of artists that are looking for, I know I tweeted out the other day, Josh Howard is looking to bring people or commissions.
Yeah.
A lot of artists have opened up commissions. So that's a great point to, if you do have the money, please support, and creators. Like
when people say they're opening up commissions, I almost always just retweet that and tag it with TwitterCon. I want to call attention to this. I definitely did in the case of Howard. I'm like, he was a great artist. People should take advantage.
Very nice, man. Well, I hope it does take off, man. That'd be great.
It's worth trying because I've seen all the other tags that people are trying for this, and they're all sort of either niche or complicated, and this is the simplest tag I could possibly think of.
It's very self-explanatory, which is good. It needs to be simple.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it won't catch on.
Exactly.
Yeah. And then the more, like you said, the more it catches on, the more its purpose is served.
Yeah.
That's ultimately a good thing.
Yeah, exactly. So, yeah.
So what do you guys got going on other than that, while you're all stuck at home today? Anyone got any fun plans or any kind of...
I do plan on actually, I'm going to be renting The Hunt.
Oh, nice, dude. That's awesome. Let me know what you think, dude.
Yeah.
I'm curious.
Being that I'm a horror fan, I wanted to watch that. Oh, by the way, I did wanted to, that was something I wanted to ask you, Mike, did you get a chance to watch Color Out of Space?
No, not yet.
I want to watch that.
I heard it's really bad.
Oh, it's
really?
Pretty good.
Really?
Really? Interesting. Okay.
Yeah, you have to be a Lovecraft fan.
I am a Lovecraft
or
fan,
a Richard Stanley fan, because that mofo is crazy. I don't know if you guys have watched his other movies, but he's like an Alan Moore type guy, like really mind expanded, so to speak.
Does he worship a snake god?
I know he's been self-exiled, living among the Catars in France for like the last 20 years.
Well,
I don't know.
Close enough.
Yeah, right.
But yeah, that's pretty much that. Or work on my papers. Other than that, that's really all I plan on doing today. I know, like I was saying earlier, Ginger touched base with me with some character or some color designs. Eric and I we hashed out like the final designs for or color scheme for. Shogun Z's Mecha and a few other things. So, and
by hashed out Chuck means we said, hey, you know what? We never decided on colors for that. That looks good.
Always got to make it better than what it is, Eric. But other than that, like Ginger's been doing real. I will say, Ginger's been really coming to us, asking advice on different things, and we've been giving the feedback where we need to, and she's definitely adjusting where she has to, and that's what I'm loving right now on terms of our project, where we're at. Eric, I know you were working on the script last week. Where are we at on Sporkman on the High Seas?
Oh yeah. That's what I'm really excited about, because it's all new content. But Sporkman on the High Seas, we have the script for that. I'd say it's pretty much done for the original draft. Now we don't have all the blocking of the action being done, so we might just have to be this fight ensues and a bunch of cool stuff happens, and we don't have that actually written out, blow for blow. But the rough script for it is really done for the most part, and there was a couple things that we were having trouble, like, okay, how do we get from point A to point B with one or two scenes, and we figured those out and got those written out. Really, really happy with how it is. Had my wife read over it and see what she thought, and she was like, I could see a lot of you in the writing.
You just gave me like the weirdest idea. This has to have happened, but I don't know if it's happened. Has anybody ever done a comic where somebody does the regular art, but another artist does the fight scenes?
No,
I'm
not sure. I don't think that's ever.
I can think of.
Eric,
What do you got to buy?
I can think of an old 90s comic book by Dark Horse, Aliens. It was called Aliens Havoc,
Okay.
I think. And the idea was that I can't remember exactly why, but there was like an alien infestation about like space liner.
Yeah.
And I think there was some kind of corruption with the face haggers going on, so they like went insane. So the whole idea was that a different artist would draw each page to like convey the insanity of what was going on, something like that. So I think that's the closest example I can think of.
Yeah, no, I mean, I know of comics that have had different artists doing different pages or whatever, but just this, like, it might be kind of a cool idea to do a comic where somebody did the regular art and somebody who was really good at fight scenes, drew the fight scenes.
Well, here's a good way you could frame it too. A cool story might be like some sort of normal, everyday type of person who then goes into some sort of imaginative fight scene, so that like when it does go to the fight, it's like it's super, like way unrealistic and hyper fantasy perhaps, and totally dichotomy. That way you have a kind of a reason for that dichotomy in the arts when that does happen.
Well, now one place I've seen that kind of stuff done hasn't been in comics, but in animation. We've had stuff where they would have, like, I'll use for example something old like Captain Power, where you would have like some live action stuff shot, but then they would have what's supposed to be the really cool special effects thing, and that would all be CGI or something like that. That's been done in animation before. Yeah.
No, I mean you've seen some things like this done in like cartoons even, because obviously you have different people drawing different parts of it, and I assume sometimes you have different people drawing the fight scenes from who do the normal animation. But I've just never seen anybody try this in a comic book.
Yeah, no, I think you're probably right about that. Yeah, it would definitely be an interesting experiment to see if you could pull it off.
Yeah,
I'd like to see that.
Yeah,
Jeremy, you're the one to bring it to us.
Now I got to go do it.
Exactly, man. You got all the comic ideas, so
I'll have to do it with Missile Man.
There you go, dude. Missile Man meets Spork Man meets Movie Man. It's amazing.
If you make a Missile Man comic, though, it has to be a one shot.
True.
It ends in a bang.
Yeah.
That'll be on the cover. This one shot ends in a bang. Oh man, that's too funny.
Get ready for the explosive finale.
Gosh, the puns there's too many, man. We can just keep going all day. I like that, man.
One day, the guy whose power is to explode, but unlike Nitro from Marvel, can only do it once.
Yes.
Like, I don't know. I'm saving him for the finale.
He probably, he relates to Bees. He's like, man, I just feel for Bees so much,
Now this guy's going to be like Milton from Office Space, like the guy with the stapler. Spends the whole movie saying that he's going to set the building on fire, and no one takes it seriously. And at the end, he ends up setting the building on fire. And that's what I'm going to do. Like, I'm going to have this guy saying, I'm going to explode and I'm going to kill all of you. And no one takes him seriously. And in the last page, he explodes and kills everyone. And that's how the story ends.
Yeah, I have a friend who they had to lay somebody off. This is a while ago, not the recent troubles. They had to lay somebody off, and he insisted on taking a stapler. And I'm like, I hope you gave it to him. Because if you keep a stapler, you just deserve what's coming to you.
You do not take a man's stapler.
No, definitely gotta be my stapler.
Red swing line. It's got to be a red swing line. What I find so hilarious is that swing line never made a red stapler. They actually painted that one in the show. And it became such like a cult classic that people started looking to see if they could buy a red swingline stapler, and they couldn't. So Swingline started making a red stapler just because of the movie.
That's hilarious.
That's when you know you made an impact.
Yeah.
Right. When people start making real things based on something you've created.
Or like if people go to restaurants and start like yelling, "The power of the spork!" before the eating.
Hey man, I think I heard someone say that the other day when I was in a restaurant.
Yeah, back
what's
in as far as like other news with that back in February, I was at a convention and we had enough space that I had Sporkman comics out for sale too, and we sold a few. Couple people bought like
nice.
just conventions or just Japan, or bought both. And on 2 different occasions, I had people come back the next day and they're like, "Yeah, I started reading it and it was really good." So we got a lot of good feedback. And there was one guy I ran into who had bought all of them last year at a different show.
Okay.
And I see him. I didn't recognize him at first, but I saw him and another guy kind of approaching our booth. And he's like, "Yeah, Sporkman, that's that comic I was telling you about." And then I recognized him, and he's like, "Hey, we met last year, and I was the one that bought all the comics and stuff." So that's always cool when you get you get feedback after the fact.
That's pretty dope,
Absolutely.
yeah.
No, I mean, and you need. I don't know. It's a hard slog to sort of build a fan base, but if you do it and you treat them right, it is really sweet to have people who you regularly just want to read what you put out there.
Man, that's really nice. Yeah.
Yeah, that's the thing. That it's good if people enjoy what you're doing. It's even better when they say, "I want more of what you're doing."
Yep.
So
Yeah. Speaking of more of what you're doing, is SOS going to come out soon?
I'm actually on page 15 of the last episode, so it should be ready to print last week. I mean, just 5 more pages left. So I don't know what's going to happen. I don't know if there's still going to be a world in which this can be published, but definitely, the PDF. Yeah, I mean, the PDF is going to be available. At least I know that much.
All right. Is it color or black and white?
It's black and white tones. I'm actually trying to emulate the old PM style duo-shaped art. You know what I mean?
That was badass.
It was one of my biggest influences when I made Decimators. I love that look. So yeah, that's what I'm trying to replicate.
Very cool. And what are you on after that?
I'm going to be drawing Johnny's Law.
Okay.
I think because the creator, the guy responsible for the campaign has had some financial trouble lately, and also the apocalypse and all that. So I don't know, but I definitely have it in my schedule, so I'm going to join it.
Okay, cool. If you find yourself with a somehow there's a gap in your, I don't think this will happen, but if there is, talk to me and maybe we can work something out.
Yeah, I remember you pitched me an idea that I really liked.
Yeah,
because you bastards need to stop sending me stuff that I like, because I can say no to anything. I'm like, okay, I'm going to take a couple of weeks off, maybe relax, and suddenly someone comes along and, hey, bye, you want to draw this? And I'm like, fuck.
I still say we still need a comic that has a headshot on every panel.
Yes,
there you go.
That's my lifelong ambition to make. Actually, it's going to be a comic that it's going to be all headshots, no stories. I'm going to try a revolutionary new formula, and I'm going to try and tell a story just by headshots.
Hey, let me give you a suggestion then, Ibai. You could really break the mold. Would be do a serial strip. Every week you get a new strip of headshots, and every week you come to expect something new, but it's always the same. Just always exactly the same 6 panels.
It's like where the crime does not pay, where an anvil falls on everyone. But yeah, how artists for conventions, they do these artist books, art books. You should just do an art book of headshots.
The headshot art book. That'd be the first of its kind. People could use it to study.
I'm definitely creating a character called Headshot at some point.
Well,
And I'm afraid
what it could be is it's like profiles of each character, but it's each character just a headshot.
Who would the nemesis of Headshot be, Ibai?
Gut punch.
I was gonna say nut punch.
That's what I was.
Yeah,
that's
like,
better. That's
you
even
Kick
better.
to the
man.
nuts. You know.
Oh, that's a good
Crotch
one.
stab.
Crotch shot. Yep, crotch shot.
Oh my,
Crotch rocket.
Back shot and crotch shot.
is this part of the Missile Man universe?
Well, that guy's it ended up to be headshot and crotch rocket, right?
And now I just want to see this as a comic now.
Yeah. You were talking earlier about the sport guys. You were talking about how you didn't have a color scheme for something in your comic. What was that?
The giant mech, what's called the Z mech.
Yeah.
And it's been more than that. There's been a couple things where we just never considered it because when we did it was in black and white.
Yeah.
And so now it's kind of like, what's the color of this supposed to be? And we're like, well, we never really thought that far ahead.
I think we did that for at least 95% of the only definite two character schemes were Natsumi and Sporkman. Other than that, everything else was kind of left up to interpretation for Ginger, and where we've tweaked a couple things here and there. But other than that,
and stuff that's on the cover, that's kind of your color guide then.
Yeah.
For those specific things. But
yeah, that's easy.
But now, Chuck, I haven't seen any pictures with the Super Mecha Sporktron. Has she worked on any of those pages?
Yeah, I tweeted. Remember? Oh, yeah. The only thing she did, the only thing that was changed there, she did originally silver shoulder pads. Told her they had to be white. That was
okay, because I do have a color scheme for that somewhere, and I don't know if we ever provided it to her.
No, we didn't.
Okay, but I can get that to you.
But I already remember what it was.
Okay.
So I already told her what the schemes had to be. So. But anyhow, yeah. Once we get the pages fully, we'll look at it and just reconfirm everything. So.
Yeah.
But speaking of Sporkman, we got another Sporkman adventure coming to the next issue of the magazine.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Not sure how many of the Wikid Creators have actually read it.
I haven't.
Yeah,
it's
a 10-page or no, how many? It's like 5 pages.
No, it's 10.
It is 10. Okay, yeah. It's actually called Sporkman to the Rescue. It was only available in the original print that we did run in indie.
We did it a couple different ways.
Yeah.
We did release it in like a regular comic book form, but primarily we had also done it as
a digital with.
Well, we did it as a digital. We also did it bundled with conventions early on, which was just kind of like a limited thing, and then we had also done it where it was literally just like photocopies stapled together.
Yep.
So it was like half size. And I forget whether that was like a freebie or something like that. But we always just kind of used it as a promotional thing. It was never meant to be like really, heavy on character development or anything like that.
Right,
it was
right.
kind of like
I think that's why it fits for the magazine. It's just a fun little action adventure piece that you throw it in there and.
Yeah, it's nothing over the top. It's just something very simple, what you want. And I figured when I talked with Eric, I was like, hey, this is a perfect place to put it. As a nice little 10-page. Yeah.
Yeah.
There was an Indiegogo called Knight Errant that is badly overdue, but it's happening. It's in progress. And the guy that putting it together is Josh Slonaker. And he advertised a perk, which is that he'd draw your comic and include it in his comic. And so I created a character named Huckleberry Black that's going to be in that. It's a little 4-page thing that'll be in that issue, but it's a very limited print run. I'm thinking maybe it would be good to afterwards to give it to you guys to run in Wicked Magazine as well.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I mean, what
That'd be
the
awesome,
heck?
man.
So,
If that's possible, man, that'd be pretty awesome.
yeah, okay. I'll talk with him about that.
Yeah, if he doesn't mind, I'd definitely be down for that.
So, cool.
Nice, man. I've been curious about that one for a while. Just the name alone makes you want to find out more about it.
Yeah, I want to do more with the character, but you know, it's
Gotta find a place for him, I guess. Huh?
well, it's just there's that. It's just it basically got stuck in the comic book equivalent of development hell, you know. But I think it's finally crawling out. Thank you, Jesus.
I usually call that place my mind,
Well,
where most of my comic projects stand.
Yeah, you have too many projects on the plate, Ebi.
Oh yeah, no, I have
There's
tons
so many
of,
in your
but
mind that you
mostly,
can't get to.
yeah, mostly scripts that I want to translate into comic book format, or short stories that I wrote for, you know, anthologies or whatever. I have this weird habit of creating. Whenever I write the story, I always, at least in my mind, I also create the world. Like I build the world in which they are set, so I can set more stories in them.
Mm-hmm.
You know, with the same mechanics and the same laws and whatever. So yeah, I have like lots of ideas for comics, but who knows? Who knows when I will be able to put them into print?
Work, I guess, right?
I almost wish to be unemployed so I can do my own thing, but I won't say that too loud.
Yeah, be careful what you'll get it.
Yeah, no. I've already been unemployed for too long, you know. I know
because if you're unemployed, you say, "Oh, you know, if I didn't have these responsibilities of a job, I could do all this stuff I want to do." But then, if you had that time, what would you do? Spend all your time looking for work?
Yeah.
It is a paradox.
Yep.
The Cloverfield paradox. Oh, terrible movie. No one saw it?
Did I see that?
No one?
Was that the one?
The Cloverfield paradox?
Wait, the Cloverfield.
Yeah, it's that Netflix movie that came out.
I saw part of it. It was stupid and turned it off.
It was on.
It was
on
dumb.
Netflix.
Yeah, it was on Netflix.
It was like a lame attempt of tying all the Cloverfield movies together.
Yeah, I mean,
and then
all the Cloverfield stuff has kind of been like it. All of them can stand on their own. They just very, very barely thread together.
Do you know that Overlord was actually supposed to originally be part of it as well?
What was?
Overlord, that World War II zombie movie?
No, I never heard anything like that.
What's that?
Oh yeah, it was originally.
Was Cloverfield that movie that followed all the cameras?
Yeah, that's right, Jeremy. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay. I liked Cloverfield. Okay.
The first one's pretty good, actually. Yeah, it was, especially for when it came out and the style it did. It was actually pretty fun.
Yeah,
I liked the movie with John. Like I thought that movie was.
Oh, John Goodman. That was fun too. I enjoyed that one as well.
That was good.
Yeah, because it was like something like I didn't expect. Like even though, like I think if they would not have linked like the whole ending and stuff like that to Cloverfield, I think it could have just stood on its own as it like you don't know what's going on. Like there's something coming in because it was actually a sci-fi / horror film, you know, and I think this that whole element of them being trapped together in that underground bunker because of this outside menace. To me, it was a great film, and I really liked, the movie that way. I just wish they kind of would not have done the whole Cloverfield aspect.
Yeah, but we're in the 2010s back then, and you can't have things like nuance and mystery. You have to have digital monsters, CGI monsters jumping out the screen. At least at the ending of the movie, you can just have a sci-fi movie without CGI monsters running around.
Yeah.
Not anymore, man. Not anymore. Speaking of CGI monsters running around, though, Godzilla.
Yep.
Godzilla versus
Kong. I'll accept Godzilla.
He's the one exception. He is the king after all, so we have to give
it. He has to be the one that is acceptable.
Exactly.
I'm really excited for King Kong versus Godzilla.
Oh, me too, man. Oh yeah.
Godzilla
was my favorite movie last year.
I just think it seems like Now I understand that Kong from Skull Island was supposed to be like a smaller version, but unless he has a great, like an enormous growth spurt, it's like
You
Godzilla
guessed
is
it.
so much big. Godzilla, I always felt was overpowered, but if we're going with the concept that yes, he is overpowered, I'm thinking this battle's going to be like 5 seconds long.
Well, actually, no, you nailed it on the head. He's actually they allude to the fact that he's King Kong is still very young and he's still growing. So I think the growth spurt thing is exactly how they are going to try and pull it off. Actually, whether that's a good way or not, I don't know, but I do think that's probably the way they'll take it.
Either which way,
But
I'm still excited
Right.
because it throws back to me for Studio Tohu's Godzilla versus King Kong.
That shit.
Come on,
Oh,
someone
let me
pay
see.
attention to your. I mean,
Let me
showing.
let me full screen you real quick.
Okay.
Give it a second. Here. I'm gonna full screen.
Nice.
This looks nice.
That is awesome.
Yeah, I
can do
backed
it. Let's see.
Feast or Famine on Indiegogo, and they had a painted.
Oh, here we go.
Oh, no, you killed him.
I'm back.
Sorry, yeah. Painted. What was
All right.
that?
They had a painted picture aspect of it, like so watercolor, I guess, combined with ink. And so I said, "Well, can you do something like the the King Kong poster?" And I think I can just click on share screen. Oh, there it is.
Oh, there we go.
Yeah. So
Sorry.
there you go. That's what it looks like. That's
Dude, that is awesome.
yeah. I was really happy with it.
Yeah, that is cool, Jeremy. I like that. That is definitely cool. Since we're all
Yeah, I love
sharing,
the art style, dude. I
Yeah.
love
Yeah.
the art style on it, really.
Yeah. Anyways, I'm very happy with that.
I
always love seeing your art stuff, man. And all your
Had a lot of cool
stuff,
By the way, Eric, I didn't get a chance to tell Eric this the other night. I actually did a interview with Nicholas.
You don't remember?
Nicholas Miller from the comic, Demon Hunter Raven, and really, by the way, which is a really interesting title. I really love it. He actually did a fan art for us, which I want to show you guys here, if you don't mind.
Go for it.
Yeah. Yeah. Shit, yeah. Is
Is
it a digital or a physical?
What?
The fan art. Are you going to
digital.
share?
Yeah, I'm
Okay.
going to screen share. Yeah, give me one moment here. I got to find it. But let me see here. I thought I put
Who's
it
the
in.
artist on it?
His name is Nicholas Miller.
Nicholas Miller. Interesting.
Yep.
Did you find him through Twitter?
No, he actually. Well, yeah. He actually knows Brian. Brian Ball. So
Right.
Brian actually requested because he's running a Kickstarter right now, and so Brian actually asked.
Oh, yeah.
Asked if we could share it. So I brought him on, had him on the stream, him and Paula Ritchie, but he did this fan art for us for the stream.
Now, is the other character his own character then?
Yes.
Kind of has a Nightwing vibe.
Well, that's what we were talking about. His Nightwing, kind of like, Guyver, because the suit's kind of alive and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So he kind of really pulled like a lot of, not going purposely after it, but just kind of being a homage to a lot of things that he loved and kind of give those feelings, and we were going over the project, which I highly recommend this, but I wanted to share this, guys, with you. This is new fan art, with him.
That's really good. I like that.
Yeah, I like it. That's his character's name, Demon Hunter Raven.
Yes.
He's got a Kickstarter right now. If you're in the U.S., and sorry for the people in Spain here, if you're in the U.S., it's 48 pages delivered to your door for $10.
Wow.
It's a really good deal. I mean,
Black and white?
Yeah,
Black and white. Yep.
I would really,
Yeah, that's
I would
pretty
highly
good.
recommend that people back
It's on
this.
Indiegogo, you said?
No, it's on Kickstarter.
Kickstarter. I'll get you the link here, Mike, to share out here.
I just let's see. It's called Demon Hunter Raven, you said?
Yeah.
Yes.
Very nice. Yeah.
And I did talk to him about possibly doing color. He said if he gets enough interest in the project, it's something he may come back and do.
That's cool.
So
What's backer cake?
Now, does he do the writing and the art and everything?
yes, yep.
Wow.
Yep. This is a project. Him and his wife is the editor. We're talking pretty long here. You know, he actually does do like he's actually like a illustrator. I think like as his normal job. Like he does like art stuff as his normal job, and this was just a side project. The nice thing is like his goal is only like $1,500 because all he wants to do is he wants to get this out in people's hands, and if they like it
for him too, he's also not paying, you know, an artist or a writer or anything like that. You know, it's all his own work. So
yeah,
when you do that, you kind of set your own value, what you're willing to do.
Yeah.
And you know, we got unfortunately, his goal is only I'm wrong. His goal is only 500 to print everything.
I should absolutely get backed.
Yeah,
like, I'm going to share it again right now because what the heck.
But I really like. I'll actually show you guys some of the art here. I don't know if you got a chance here. Let me share screen. Boom. Like just to show you, like some of the art.
Scott says $500 check.
Yeah.
What's that?
That's his goal.
Oh, really? That's a low goal. Very reasonable goal. Yeah.
Yeah, it is a very reasonable goal, and his prices are like I said, $10. You get $10 gets you a PDF copy and a printed copy, and it's 48 pages.
There we go.
So just to show you some of the artwork here. For this
wow, I like the art, man. It's nice. I like the black and white. It really gives you that manga feel almost. And
the attention, like for me, like the detail. When I first saw that page, I mean, look at the detail on a suit.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. I mean, I would go crazy before I was able to draw that many buildings. I hate drawing buildings. I don't know if you guys have noticed. Wow, man, the effort put into the details there is crazy.
Yeah,
love it.
And then this is like here's like I think he's really good there, and like his cover. And he actually has like a lot of like he likes a lot of like mechanical stuff, Eric, which I think that was something like I know you would like, you know, like if you look at it. But that's his cover.
Did he do that or did somebody else do his cover?
Somebody else did his cover.
Okay. It's nice.
Yeah, I think it's Diego is his name, and then Steve Cannon from Jack Irons is doing the color for the cover.
Oh wow, that's dope.
So that's
I love Steve Cannon's colors, man.
Yeah, so that's actually how you know that's actually how we kind of know each other. Like him, and so he's actually working with somebody from Jack Irons. You know, he knows Brian Ball, so like he's actually indie creator that's up and coming. But like for his first project, for me, that is unbelievable.
And it says here he's got the first 21 pages for free.
Yeah,
on the website, so you can actually read like practically half the book and decide if you like it or not.
Yeah, that's good.
That's very nice, man.
Yeah, and I think for me that is like I think that's a big important point is supporting projects like this is because you're not waiting months and months and months for things to be done. I mean, here you're looking at he's hopefully by July he should have everything done and out to everybody.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, but that was just something fan art wise. I figured hey, to share with you guys and maybe give a little shout out to him.
Thank you.
I think, but once again, hashtag TwitterCon.
Exactly. Guys, something came up here and I have to go. If you guys want to follow me, I'm at Jeremy Lott Diary. And please use the hashtag TwitterCon to promote comics because we need to get through this together.
Yep.
Nice.
See ya.
Do it, man. Well, thanks for joining us. Man. I appreciate it. Have a good day, dude. Later. So yeah, dude, that looks cool, man. I'm gonna check it out later myself. If I can, I'll definitely back it.
Yeah, I wish I could. Right now, I'm kind of tight financially. I wish I could back a little bit more projects. Yeah, but I at least I'm gonna get it out there, share it out, so that way other people can Dude, I know a lot of indie creators are hurting right now because of some of
going on.
Yeah, well, not just the coronavirus, just with some Indigo crowdfunding campaigns, not fulfilling their promise, and that's one thing. I know we're late, and I want to let this know people out there, and I'm sure Erica is going to echo this. We are still working on our project. We're giving updates. We're not going to just drop this. This is something we're not taking
definitely.
We're not taking your money and running. It is going to get out there. It's just going to take a little bit longer, just with everything going on.
Well, it's a big project too. When you consider like how many pages it is, it's not. We had it broken into 3 issues, but lengthwise, it's the equivalent of 4 or more.
Yeah,
you're right. Exactly. So it is definitely a lot bigger than just a single issue.
That's the thing. When you visualize it as one project, it sounds like, oh well, like, why isn't this out yet? But it's not one issue, because the way we're going to be doing all our stories from here on out is they're as long as they need to be to tell the story. So you could pick up one Sporkman issue and it might be 28 pages. Another one will be 50. Another one will be 120. It's going to vary. And of course, whether, you're like with this, we're just getting it colorized and re-lettered, where, the next project we do, 100% of it needs done from scratch.
Mm-hmm.
So just kind of all those things need taken into account when it comes to how long it takes to get something done. And not only that, but everyone, including most of the artists that do this kind of thing, it's not their full-time job. So
really, yeah, I guess that's true. If you're after most of the indie creators out there, it's probably
it's very easy for someone looking on the outside to say, oh well, what? Because I was it wasn't so much comic related, but I remember someone talking about some sort of crowdfund that was going on, and they're like, well, my understanding is if they succeed in their goal, that they would be working on this every day full time. And I'm like, what are you smoking? I'm like, most of these people have like real jobs. They might have families. You can't expect someone to just be like, yeah, I'd say it, I'm going to quit my job. I'm just going to do this full time. It's not exactly how it works.
Not unless you make a shit ton of money. Like, even then, like, even if you made $100,000, can't you really just quit your job and live off that forever?
Well, it depends on the person.
Yeah.
I think most comic book artists aren't. They spend most of their lives indoors and eating like really quick, preheated meals, stuff like that. So yeah, I think we're pretty much the artistic equivalent of cheap labor.
Time to make the ramen noodles.
Your art, man.
Yeah.
You must.
Oh, hey, some leftover chicken from last night. In you go.
Yeah. In you go. Down quickly now.
For sure. But really, that's for Sporkman. That's where we're at here. I know we got to wrap up here. So,
who's sticking around for the next segment?
I think I'm gonna go take a Spanish nap.
Yeah, I got homework I gotta work on here. I want to.
No worries, man. No worries. Well, I enjoyed you having you guys on, and would you please let everyone know where they can follow you?
Yeah, sure. You guys can follow me and Eric at Sporkman Studios on everything for YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, and then Eric also has his own personal Twitter handle,
which I'm hardly ever on,
which is at Jedi Raylan. But yeah,
I've been having a heck of a lot of login issues for YouTube. My business YouTube, I can't log into that. I can't log into my personal YouTube. I have another YouTube channel for a podcast I do, and that one last I was on, I didn't have any problems, but I don't know what the heck is going on.
Hacked, maybe.
Well, it keeps coming down to telling me I have the wrong login, and I've verified it, so it's right. But it's amazing. You have like these multi-billion-dollar companies, but then it's like they want to automate everything, and it's like, well, if you can't find a solution through that system, where do you get assistance?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. No, very true.
I think the stupid algorithm or the stupid AI is going to be the incompetent state worker of the 21st century.
Yeah.
But anyhow, yeah, that's where we're at. So thanks, Mike, for having us on. Appreciate it.
You're welcome, man. You're welcome, man. Eva, did you get to say where people can follow you real quick, or are you guys?
No, but I will do so now. You can follow me at Decimators Art on Twitter, and you can also follow me on Instagram and on Facebook, in which I can't post anything for 24 hours because I quote Snatch to a friend, the movie Snatch. That's that's my case of stupid algorithm.
You're always getting in trouble somewhere, man.
I don't know why. I'm such a mild-mannered European guy.
I know, right?
I can't imagine why.
Such a sweetheart.
So yeah, it's been great being here, guys. As it always is.
Thank you, man. Enjoy your siesta, and we
thanks. I will.
You guys soon.
All right, Mike. Thanks.
Bye.
See you guys.
Oh, I'm in right now? Okay, why is it quiet in here? Oh, Mike's muted. All right, let's at least check the chat, see what's going on.
Bro, can you hear me?
I can now.
Oh, sorry about that, man. I was trying to get it to work because my phone died, so I had to switch over to my computer. But so you can see I'm in admin mode over here.
Oh yeah.
Sorry about that, y'all. But I'm back. So how's it going, man?
Okay, I guess.
All things considered.
Yeah, sure.
Have you talked to Dan or Matt lately?
Matt is MIA right now, and Dan is taking a breather after finishing some yard work, so it's just me.
Oh, okay. Yeah, sure. So no worries. I was just curious what they were up to today.
Yeah, I have no idea what Matt's doing right now. I'm not seeing him on Discord. It might be.
Hey, he earned it. He earned it, man. But
Natalie popped in too.
Natalie, are you here with us? Can you hear us? The second segment is plagued by technical difficulties.
Guess so. I can't seem to. No one else has a technical difficulty. I can't seem to find the feed on my, on YouTube.
Oh, really? It's on there. Go to our channel. Or actually just follow the link on the Twitter I think I put out. That's probably easier.
Yeah, that'll work. Yeah, I can't seem to. Even though I know I'm subbed to that channel, it's not showing up in my subscription feed. That's
really?
messed up.
That is messed up. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know what the hell's going on. I wish I knew.
Yeah, well.
Okay, so technical difficulty. I can't see. All right, yeah, there we go. That's better. Okay, so here we are.
Let's see. We got Sporkman in the chat, Scott in the chat. Thanks, guys, for joining us. Mando, thank you for joining us.
Mm-hmm. That's
So maybe I guess we should talk a little bit about Mythiverse. The Mythiverse shipped, man.
Yeah, finally. It was like, man, that took so long, and it's like, it's just glad to see it. It's just kind of glad to see it finally happening.
Yeah, I know it's been a long time coming, and I am super excited about it. We wanted to try and make up for a little bit of lost time, so we shipped them all out at once, and so it was a huge, big, ton of packages, but we were able to get them out, and I think they should be arriving probably. If I had to guess, a couple people probably have theirs already, but the majority are probably going to be starting next Monday. People will probably start getting them, I would imagine, because media mail is 2 to 9 days. So it just kind of depends, really.
Medium mail, and I know for a fact that all the mail-in stuff was US based.
Mm-hmm.
So you guys shipped that on, what was it, Monday or Tuesday?
I believe it was Monday, yeah.
Yeah, so they should. So most of the backers should have gotten their stuff by now.
Not necessarily. Media mail is a bit slower than first class. So it is 2 to 9 days. So it could take up to the.
Oh, I heard 2. I did not hear the 9.
Oh yeah. Yeah, it's a little bit slower. First class mail is 1 to 3 days, and I know I shipped a few out like that. Some of the single buyers got first class. So some of the people who got single issues should be getting them. But most everyone should be expecting them in about 2 to 9 days. So. From Monday, so that shouldn't be too much longer, I would think.
Hopefully, so we should at least expect to see most, if not all, of them getting their stuff by next week.
I would think so, yeah, definitely. And
how's everyone doing?
Great.
Hi, Natalie.
Hey, Natalie.
Hey.
How's it going?
I'm good. How are you guys?
I'm good. What are you up to today?
Not much. Just kind of hanging out at home, kind of laying low. But that's basically it.
Nice.
Yeah.
Not doing any writing, huh?
Huh?
You're not doing any writing right now?
Oh, yeah, of course. I'll be doing that later, like always. But I watched a really interesting anime last night that I thought was really cool. Huh?
Was it Katsu?
Yeah, it was so. Oh my god, it was weird yet cool at the same time. It was crazy.
Tell us about it. I'll
Hey, Brian.
share some images of it real quick.
Hi.
I mean, you just kind of have to watch it for yourself. I can't really describe it. It was really good. And I read a one-shot manga too last night because of my friend Brian. It was called Burn the Witch, which I know some of you guys like Bleach.
Oh yeah, I just heard about that. I was reading an article about that.
It's really, really good. It's really good.
Ooh, I'm gonna have to read
yes. Yeah, I've just been with all of this free time. I've just been trying to catch up on some shows, watch some new ones, read some new manga. Yeah.
Good time for it, really.
It is.
Here's Katsu.
What's that?
I was just screen sharing here with everyone.
Oh yeah. There it is. Katsu.
That's terrifying.
It's like there is literally no one talks throughout the entire thing. It is all visual and musical. It's weird, but you kind of have to like watch it twice to kind of understand it. I don't know. It was weird. It's weird. Definitely weird. What's that?
I'll definitely have to check that one out.
Yeah, you definitely should.
But yeah, speaking of Bleach, did you guys hear the good news? There was a leak.
Yes, I have.
Yeah, they're supposedly coming back to finish off the last arc of the manga in anime form.
That's gonna be awesome.
So I guess the Inuyasha treatment.
Nice. I'm down for it, man. I never finished Bleach, so I think I'm gonna finish it now.
I
Wait,
quit after the
Brett,
Soul
did you
Society
say
arc.
Inuyasha? Brett, did you
You
say
don't-
Inuyasha's coming back, or did you mean like the final act?
That will. Yes.
Yes, what?
Yeah, that was really good. That was really good.
Oh, okay.
The final act.
Oh, that's funny. We were joined by Scott. Welcome, Scott.
Hey, what's up, everyone?
Well, Scott.
What's your
Yeah, you guys were talking about shipping the Mythoverse, and mine hasn't shown up yet. I'm like, where is it? I was actually looking at the.
Hey, don't look at me. Ask Michael.
tier did you get?
I didn't get my
Look at
Mythoverse yet.
No, which tier did you get?
I got the 3 standards.
3 standards. Okay, so that one just 3, no retails.
What do you mean no retails?
Like well, did you? Well, I mean, did you? Well, I'm sorry, no variants.
No variants, no.
Okay, so oh well, I'm surprised. Yeah, should be getting there pretty soon, man.
Yeah, usually it's like next day I have it. 'Cause I'm just like,
I thought I shipped yours with first class, but it's possible I did medium mail for that one. So
oh, that's
Did
fine.
I consider you two work at the same place? You could have just handed it to them in person.
actually,
Yeah, that was only a brief time.
I worked there a very, very short time. Now I work at Bank of America. Hello, Cranky Writer, aka Matt.
Hey guys.
How's it going? man?
Oh, where were you? Where were you?
Hello, Matt.
Yeah.
What's up, man? What you been up to?
Thought there was a little bit of skip.
Hey, Scott, I can't hear you.
You can't hear me?
There's a lot I can't hear.
What's that? What's that, man? Matt.
Yeah, I'm here.
Well, welcome, I should say.
Thanks.
Appreciate you joining us, man. And now we have 2 out of 3 Mythoverse with us.
Yep.
So yeah, man. What's everyone? I know I've asked this on the earlier chat, but what is everyone up to today? Anyone kind of just? I know now it's just kind of hanging out, getting some good anime, manga, and what about you guys?
Just hanging around the house, playing games, reading manga. I did read the first chapter of Burn the Witch. I hadn't seen that yet.
Oh, you did too. Oh, that's funny.
Yeah, they just put it on the Viz app. Not yesterday, but the day before.
Really?
It's,
I'll check it out.
it's pretty cool. I'm hoping there's more.
It's getting an anime too.
Yeah. And then I think you guys were just talking about the 1,000-Year War arc as well, which I'm excited about.
Hell yeah, dude! I'm so stoked. I know that fan project, but it was so slow it would never have finished the whole thing in my opinion. So it's like this is an actual chance to get the official finalized ending. And I honestly, my dream, and I hope they do. Basically, I hope they do the Naruto Shippuden route, and they not only adapt the 1,000-Year War arc, but they should also adapt at least a handful of episodes at the end to adapt the new light novels that are coming out. Because the new light novels they take place after the main series and kind of are an epilogue to the whole thing. So I think it would be really nice if they even animated those into the final season.
I mean, if they need to fill out a season, they'll definitely do that.
It would be nice, man. I think it would just be a nice icing on the cake, you know. Either way, I'll probably read them if they don't, but I still think it would be dope.
I'm still waiting to see what he's been working on. I don't think there's been an official release on that yet.
He's got a new project or something?
Yeah, we actually talked about that.
Oh, really?
I can hear everybody now. I had to leave for a sec. I'm sorry.
It's okay.
I couldn't hear anyone. All I heard was Mike, and I'm like, what's going on? Who's he talking to?
A ghost.
Yeah, that's a weird.
All in your head.
Did you say a ghost? Ooh.
But yeah, no, I love Bleach, so I'm stoked for it to come back. And like I said, I never finished it, so I'm gonna go back and kind of rewatch the whole thing. I think.
I told Scott at like 4 a.m. last night to read Burn the Witch. I don't know if he did or not.
He did.
Yeah,
he
we
did.
were just talking about that.
Yeah,
Oh, you did? Okay.
Loved it. Or I think he
It
said
was like at 4 a.m. It was right after I watched Cat Soup.
Oh, nice. Okay. It's nice that it's on the Viz app too.
I'm on the weird side of anime.
That's all right.
I don't
like
even-
weird
it-
anime as well.
It was okay. So I actually just looked up what genre that anime falls under, and it's called dementia, quote unquote.
Was that now? It falls into what?
It's called dementia. It's supposed to be like this like simple like thing that has these deep meanings, but you only could like pick it up in visual. It was so it blew my mind. It was so weird.
Huh. That's interesting.
I think they did some of that like back in the 70s. Like, have you ever seen a movie called The Wizards?
The Wizards of Waverly Place?
No, it's just called The Wizards.
I'm just kidding.
And it's like this weird, like adult,
No, I haven't heard that one.
like animation.
Huh.
And it has to do with the future, and they start digging up the past and finding like Nazi propaganda. It's just out there.
Wow. That sounds interesting. Is it a Western animation?
Yeah, I believe so. But it's like this weird like fantasy, like sci-fi. It's just this weird blend of stuff.
Sounds interesting, man. But yeah, I don't know. Does anyone else use that Viz app that Scott was talking about?
I actually just made an account for the first time.
Oh, really?
So I'm kind of new to the whole Viz app.
It's pretty interesting, right?
I will admit, though, when I was reading, because I only made the account because my friend Brian told me to read Burn the Witch last night. And when I made like the account, I just felt like the controls to like turn the page or like read the next page were really confusing. It took me like 5 minutes to figure it out.
Yeah, it's one complaint. The Viz app and also the Manga Plus app, they're really lacking when it compares to things like Comixology, because there's no guided view. Like if they had a guided view, man, how amazing would that be?
I like the when they. I'm sorry. I just prefer when like you're reading a manga or even webtoon or any comic in general. Like you just kind of do like the whole scrolling thing. Like I find that to be so much more simpler.
I mean, that works too. But I mean, have you? I guess if you're not familiar, Scott, I know you're about to ask about what that format was, right?
Yeah, I've never heard guided view.
You probably have seen it if you've ever read a Comixology book or anything from Amazon Kindle, any comics there. But essentially, is you double tap on the first panel and it enlarges it to your whole screen, and then you just click left and right, and it advances you from panel to panel. And it's a lot easier to read comics on a small screen. You're having it full, the screen for the full capacity, and it just brings like panel to panel. Is really nice kind of way to view it. You're not having to zoom in, zoom out, zoom in. It's all doing it for you, you know.
Yeah.
It took me a while to figure this out with the Viz app, but when you get the 2-page spreads, especially on my iPad, when you just rotate the iPad, it'll reformat it.
Really?
It was the way that I was seeing it was like, okay, for example, page 1 and 2, but then when you would hit page 2, it was already showing you page 2, so you actually had to go to 3, from 3 to 4, 4 to 5, 5 to 6, so on and so forth.
Mm-hmm.
I found it a little slightly confusing, but I mean, once I got the hang of it, it wasn't so bad.
That sounds different than like, because when I pull them up on my iPad, like I just swipe to turn the pages.
Yeah, that's weird. See, I wish I'm on my Mac though. I'm on a Mac.
Oh, so it's gonna be different on every platform you use it. Like I'm on my Android phone when I do it, so.
No.
It's gonna be different for everyone, I guess. Really.
No Androids in this house.
Really? Oh god, it's the opposite. We didn't know Macs in this house.
Yeah, we are Apple people.
That's funny.
Apple folks.
Apple folks.
I think it just boils down to personal preference, really.
Oh yeah, I 100%.
I think both are just equally as good as the other. I just think it just comes down to preference. I'm not really tech. I'm not very tech savvy, so I find Apple products to be very user friendly.
Oh, okay.
I have one Android, and I was so confused.
That's fair. That's fair. Everyone, and my sister's the same way. She does all Apple stuff, but it's really funny.
Yeah, Apple forever.
Yeah, I wonder if we'll get a new Apple iPhone this year, or if that's going to be kapoots.
What was that?
I'm curious if we'll actually get a new iPhone in the future, or if that's going to be put on hold.
I have the iPhone XS Max, and I didn't find a reason to upgrade to the 11 because it literally, the only reason I will upgrade is if the screens or the phone gets physically bigger, because then I could read manga a little bit better on my phone, but that's like the only way I will upgrade.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's I mean, it makes sense, honestly. It's they don't really change that much from each one.
Have we gotten?
They really don't.
An update on Star Ring? I know it was close to being finished as far as the page work.
Oh, and Natalie, did you catch that one?
No, I didn't hear him. I'm sorry.
Oh, that's okay. He was just asking if you had any updates on Star Ring that you might be able to share with us.
Oh, yes. We are coming to the end finally. coming to the end. I think we have maybe I want to say 2 or 3 pages left, and we're done the first chapter.
Amazing, dude.
So that's exciting. But
that's really awesome.
when we're also going to be getting with you guys to see when we can maybe start printing, etc. And we want to do like a 0.5 chapter, which that's what we'll be working on next, which I think should only be like 15 pages long. So if they read the spoiler, they call it the sneak peek or whatever on Webtoon, there's actually going to be more content if you purchase through Wikid. So you're going to actually get more purchasing through the Wikid site, or however we decide to do it.
And
So-
I'm very excited about it. Yeah.
So basically, what you're saying is if they get it through like Comixology or some other means, then it would just be the standard without the 0.5, and then like the Wikid Digital and the print through Wikid would have that 0.5 chapter.
Anything involving Wikid will have the 0.5 chapter.
Okay.
Because the whole chapter is not going to be on. Because when we first started, before we signed with Wikid, we were going to make it just an exclusive Webtoon. So we still kind of want to commit to that and put it up. But the whole chapter is not going to be available. So you actually will have to purchase through Wikid to get that, not only just the extras, but also some more extra scenes from the actual chapter itself too. So
very cool.
Everything isn't going to be up for free.
Right, I was going to say, it's kind of like how Cody did with Jack Irons, where the first issue's in black and white on Tapas. So it's like a free preview in a sense.
Yeah, that's kind of what it's going to be like. Just kind of like a free preview, and you'll get more through
Wikid and possible other things down the line, and continuing forward. But it's a nice way to jump in for people who are new to the series and
exactly
pick up a physical book.
I'm real excited. To kind of get it finished, and we're also going to be jumping right into episode 2 from what I understand. Like right now it's kind of in the gray, but I know that's kind of what Eerie wants to do. We want to kind of get it done, get a good chunk of it done, and then possibly over the summer we're going to look into crowdfunding and all of that fun stuff too. But that's intimidating for me, but I'm
sure
it does make it a lot easier when you've got a chunk of it done before you launch the campaign.
Yeah, that's kind of what I was thinking as well.
That makes a lot of sense. Yeah.
Yeah.
And Mando's excited. They're already saying, "Take my money."
Oh, I seen it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you've done a good job of building up a nice fan base so far. So you're already doing really good work with that.
Yeah, and I it's a lot of effort to get it out there, but like building our Instagram has been so helpful in terms of getting people getting the word out there and people know about it. Like, I forget who it was, but someone wrote on our Instagram, like for the webtoon that I'm launching, that they heard about it, and I don't know how they heard about it, but I'm like, hey, whatever, that's cool, awesome. I'm like, I didn't even know that people knew about this yet.
No, that's really awesome. Yeah. So I'm definitely excited to see it in print.
Instagram's kind of weird where you don't have to do a lot, just post stuff every now and then, and people just randomly start following you. More so than I think Twitter.
It's real easy. Like, that's I will tell anyone who's trying. A friend of mine just recently launched a light novel type series, and I told her, I said, you will be surprised if you just start creating an Instagram, make it strictly just for what you're doing, what content you're pushing out, and you will be surprised at how quickly it will spread and blow up. I mean, even just 500 followers is enough. So it's a little intimidating at first, though. It's a little intimidating at first, but once you kind of get the hang of it, it's pretty fun. And you get to interact with a lot of cool people.
Right. It's a learning process for sure, though. You know what I mean?
It was, and I actually, as most of you guys know, I am a huge fan of Nana. I am hosting watch parties right now for a Discord group I belong in. And funny thing is because of Instagram, I actually connected with Olivia Lufkin, who was the singer for like the openings and endings for the anime, which I thought was so cool. It was so much. It was so fun to be able to interact with her. Super nice person, very nice person. So I definitely recommend Instagram to every comic creator in the world. It is the place.
Oh wow, that's awesome. Well, yeah, I know you guys got a lot going on with everything happening. So I appreciate you making time to meet with us today. I wasn't sure if the podcast was still going to go on
Maybe we should try to get a handle on that.
What do you mean?
I mean, what better way to have a podcast when everyone's inside?
I know, right? I actually thought about it this morning. I was like, you know what? People might. I know I didn't put out a tweet about it very early, this week, but people are home. They'll probably show up.
Well, I think we should probably start. You guys should probably start talking about the podcast at the beginning of the week rather than it.
We typically do, but it was just a lot going on this week. It's kind of a hectic week.
We should also be pushing the Wikid store sale too.
How'd you know there's a Wikid store sale?
Because you posted about it, and I went to the website, and everything's got a nice red sale tag on it.
That's right. Everything is up for temporarily. We put out a post about we released our digital collection at 99 cents on the Wikid store. We want to encourage people to stay inside and give them something to do while they're doing it. So all our comics are on there, even stuff like Wrath's on there and other things that aren't in print yet. So
I was looking at it. You can get Movie Men, Jack Irons 1, 2, Sportman Conventions, and Wrath for $5.
Yeah, it's pretty awesome. and give them a good read, and they're all really good comics. So we wanted to help do something with that. And at the same time, we're also doing, like you said, there's a 20% off sale on all the physical products on the store. So if you want to get something in print, they're all 20% off right now.
Yeah, we did something too with the Mythoverse merch store. Discounted everything at 15 off.
Very nice, man. Very nice.
That's really cool.
Yeah, I think it's a good way to help because we appreciate the readers, and we know people are going through a hard time right now. So We want to help give them something that they can maybe take their mind off things a little bit.
I really think, especially people who love to read comics, I think reading the comics in a time like this will give your mind a break from all of the anxiety from everything going on if you're feeling that way, or the isolation. I know one of the hardest things I've been having to deal with is being inside.
I would love to know what that feels like, because I still have to go to my day job where I'm running a daily risk of being exposed. I don't know how I haven't caught it yet. I don't know how I haven't caught corona yet.
I'm in the same exact boat as you, man. What kind of work do you do?
Retail.
Retail, really? They haven't sent you home, man?
That's like essential, especially if you're
That's
like
on the retail,
anything food related. Then yeah,
Food
you're working.
Sure. Did you guys heard about GameStop? GameStop tried to say that they were non-essential and were still open until yesterday in California. They were saying, like, if a police come to shut you down, they told this to employees, if they try and shut you down, hand them this flyer and that says contact the corporate office.
I don't think anyone came in to shut them down. Like,
I would love to know what it's like to be isolated and go stir crazy. But no, I gotta deal with the daily reality that I could possibly be exposed to corona, and I have no idea how I haven't been so far.
It's pretty scary, isn't it, Brett?
I actually kind of wanted to write a comic about everything, but I'm like, no, I don't think I should.
I don't know.
It's like,
about the worst I've caught so far is just a cold.
Yeah, it's just not cool, man.
You sure that's not it?
Well, I'm not feverish, and I know for a fact that when corona gets you, it hits like a truck.
Not necessarily.
Well, it also has an incubation period, so it's possible.
No, I don't know. It's that's for you guys to, you'll have to talk about it on your end. You know, obviously we got the podcast, so but I wish you luck, man. I would feel better.
Then maybe I can do it. And if I get sick, just put me out of my misery.
Don't be so dramatic. I'm sure you'll only get the mild symptoms.
Yeah, it's a scary thing, man. Like, I'm always like, every day I go to work, I'm like trying to stay 6 feet away from everybody, and they had like
that's so funny, because yesterday the HR manager from our company came in before at the meeting we always have at the beginning of our shift, and he says, make sure you're practicing social distancing. Meanwhile, we've got about a little over a dozen, about under 20 people, all crammed into a tiny room.
Yeah, that's not smart.
And I just thought, you people are so fucking tone deaf.
Well, you know, you think that's bad, man. We have about 40 or 50 people, and they had a hands-on meeting the other day. I work at Bank of America. You think they'd be smarter than that?
I actually went out yesterday to try to, get some things that I could find. I mean, Virginia's not too bad right now. Like, it's not too bad in the number wise, but who knows who actually might be carrying it, et cetera, et cetera.
Right.
All the fears we're having. But I went out, I got a bunch of things so I could stay in as much as possible to avoid, anything. So
yeah, it's also important to help support. Like, I've been talking a lot on Twitter about supporting local comic shops right now. And I think that's really important.
When you guys were bringing up GameStop, it came into my mind. I'm like worried for little companies like that. Yeah. Well, not little, but companies like that, because they rely on.
Oh yeah, I mean, GameStop is already hurting. They're already kind of hurting. So yeah, honestly, it's gonna be hard for them.
Yeah.
It might be a torpedo to their business.
It really could be, honestly.
Or even places like FYE or Box Lunch, Spencer's, Hot Topic, like all them little places, that you only really could find at a mall.
Right.
Or that's not essential.
Mm-hmm.
Malls were already like kind of hurting to begin with, so this is really, I hope it doesn't, but I feel like it's really going to take a toll on those places.
And yeah, exactly. And I think that's why we got to support our favorite kind of places that we love now more than ever. I know a lot of people
Yeah,
are buying
definitely
gift
your
cards,
local comic shop. Support
right?
them.
I know people are buying gift cards to places and stuff. And what were you gonna say, Scott?
I was listening to Jeremy talking about his TwitterCon thing, and I did my TwitterCon post for our local store.
Oh, that's awesome, dude. That's really cool. That was very good of you. I'll do that for mine too. I like to go to. Oh, was it Flying Colors, man?
Yeah.
Oh,
it's in the Wikid chat.
I actually just did some curbside pickup. I got like about 300 bag and boards from them just the other day.
Oh, nice.
Curbside pickup, and you just call them, schedule a time to pick it up. They take your article over the phone and bring it right out to you, man. It's nice, man. You can do that with all your comics at that store. So it's a good deal.
It was so funny. The other day I was on a group call with some people on a Discord server I belong to, and they brought up Wrath, and I was like, "Oh my gosh, it's such a small world." So I told them about the sale that's going on that I've seen on Twitter.
Mm.
So I had a couple people bring up Wrath, and I thought that was just so cool.
Nice.
I'm like,
and then she sent me a message when I was like already asleep, and I like tried to answer like, okay, just put me in the group.
oh, and I completely forgot. I need to do that.
That's funny.
Me.
That's too funny, dude.
Oop.
Sorry. Yeah, my work schedule's been kind of this weird mix. I'm off work, but I still go in a couple days a week.
Oh, really? Oh, that's interesting, huh?
But
you do remote work then?
So since you worked in the office for a little bit, like it's just so weird because usually I'm on a floor with, like 10 attorneys, like 5 clerks, 4 or 5 investigators, 3 victim witness people. I was there and there was like maybe 2 or 3 investigators. I was the only clerk, and there was like 1 attorney.
Oh my god!
Like the whole second floor.
It's so empty. Wow, that's bizarre.
Sorry about that.
Oh no, it's all good.
I'm using my phone right now, so I'm having like some technical difficulties. I got a phone call, and every time I get a phone call, it goes on my Mac and then my phone, and then everything is loud. And oh my god.
Yeah, that's no worries, no problem. I don't mind that, but glad you were able to make it work. So yeah, no, I mean it is a weird time. It is definitely a weird time.
It is, and I can almost like feel the negative energy in the air. Like everyone's at like panic or this and that, which I can understand for some people, especially folks with anxiety and such. It could be a little nerve-wracking. The best thing you could do is just stay calm and leave it into the hands of the professionals.
We'll also just practice good habits. Not touching your face, wash your hands a lot. Just
staying inside,
keep distance away from people if you can.
Yeah, definitely. You just got to do what you can in a moment like this. So.
It's funny. I was watching because I'm at work. We're in a call center essentially, and they have these big TVs on the wall with just stuff playing in the background. And they had someone turned on Nickelodeon for whatever reason. Shrek was on, but it was during a commercial. They actually have these promotional things to help people, like help kids learn to wash their hands and stuff. And it's like it shows like here's how to wash your hands, and it shows the SpongeBob scene where he like washes his hands to complete nubs. I don't know if you guys remember that. But I was like, oh, that's kind of clever and fun,
Unless you're gonna traumatize kids and think they're gonna overwash their hands.
Oh my god, why? You see, like, catch them and they're like, I gotta get rid of this. But I was like, oh, that's an interesting way to kind of to promote that message, in a fun way. But yeah, so just everyone stay safe out there. That's all we're trying to get at, I think, here. Is, just be careful.
Also, people quit panic buying toilet paper because all week that's like the papers or department in my store's been picked bare because people won't.
Oh my god, dude!
I gotta run out of toilet paper. Oh god, all is lost. The trucks are still coming. There's no supply shortage.
Yeah,
Or did
Listen,
you got-
I went to 5
good on
different
that
stores
stuff.
to find TP yesterday, and I still didn't find any. But then when I finally got to like a local dollar store to try to track down some, there was a guy in front of me in line who had 4 packs of toilet paper. I'm like, why? Why? What about us who don't have any?
I almost stole some from work the other day. Like the janitor had his rolls all like laid out, and he wasn't there. I was like, oh, I could just grab a couple and throw them in my backpack right now. Oh damn! I was like, no, I'm not a monster. We're not savages.
Gets it. Oh, my situation gets even better because on Tuesday my brother's flying in from Ohio to move back in with me, and I must have spent like half an hour on the phone with him, telling him, "Dude, you realize you are going to be stuck inside of a pressurized cabin, breathing the same recycled air as about a bunch of other potentially sick people in a scenario where you cannot social distance."
Yeah, it's terrifying.
Social distance, and even though he's like, no, I'll be fine. I'll have a breathing mask. I'll cover up. I'll disinfect. And it's like I ran him through everything. And I told him, and he's still gonna do it anyway.
Wow, man. Yeah, it's you gotta do what you gotta do.
I bought a can of disinfectant spray though, just to be safe, because he's gonna come in on Tuesday. I'll be able to pick him up after I get off work.
Just spray
after I get off work, and yeah, that's exactly what I'm gonna do. That thing is sitting in my van right now. I'm gonna pick him up. I'm gonna tell him like spread him, and then I'm just gonna spray him all from top to bottom.
Another thing to keep in mind is even at home, keep your surfaces like your doorknobs, stuff like that disinfected. Frequently use counters, etc. Just trying to spread the word.
You haven't met my roommate.
You should have seen me the other day. I don't care if I looked crazy. I was like dusting the doorknob after I had already did. Because I have a 3-year-old, and I have a little guy, so I really
you want to be extra careful, and I get that.
Yeah, I really just don't want him to get sick. I don't want to get sick. So it's like, please, everyone.
I'm glad you tested negative, then. I'm really glad to hear that.
Yeah, just please, yeah. Oh, that was scary.
Yeah, I bet, dude. Yeah, I bet it was. Yeah.
Right now, I feel like I've become the living embodiment of that Sonic the Hedgehog meme.
But like Brett also mentioned on my Twitter, a lot of other allergies. Allergy season is now, right now. I mean, just a couple of weeks ago, I had just got strep throat. I mean, there's stuff going around. So if you kind of feel like under the weather, you don't, jump to the conclusions immediately. Pay attention to your symptoms and such as well, because like Brett said earlier, it's going to hit you hard at first, at least based upon what I've read so far. So.
Everything I've heard about coronavirus is that if you're sick with it, you're sick with it.
Yeah, unfortunately though, because I think we talked about this earlier too, just because of how you can get the symptoms, or you can get contagious before you get symptoms. That's what makes it so dangerous.
Yeah, you can be contagious when you're asymptomatic. I'm just saying, when you are sick, when you're actually sick with it, you know it, because this thing hits like a truck. Even if you're healthy and have a pretty good chance at survival, it's still gonna hit. Like even if you survive it, it's just gonna be brutal to have to live through it.
Well, it ain't gonna be fun, that's for sure.
So I got a more comics related question.
A comics related question on a comics podcast? My God.
Yeah, why are you even bringing up comics on this podcast?
Yeah, God, jeez, dude.
It's not like we don't have any. We definitely do not talk about comics, especially not our own.
Okay,
well, actually, it was about Mythoverse. Now that we've seen that fulfilled, I know there's probably not a date set, but should we expect the physicals to be on the Wikid store here, like maybe a couple months?
Yeah, Mythics won't be on sale for the physicals until I have the relettering done and sent to Wikid.
Right, because you're probably going to have to reproof that too.
Yep. Yeah, and with how the mailers have been lately, I got my email for Rags issue 6 last Saturday, and it was for 3-day shipping, and I didn't get it until last night.
Okay, see, I'm not the only one that's getting delays.
Mm-hmm. But it's yeah.
Mythoverse, I actually have a question for you guys too, because I know you guys are on Patreon. I actually heard that. Is it true? Like, this is just kind of what a hearsay from me, but like, is it true Patreon is doing something with anime related artwork or manga related?
Yes
artwork?
and no.
Okay.
It's the yes, but a lot of the claims are over exaggerated.
Gotcha. I was a little concerned about that because in the future, I did kind of want to make a Patreon myself as well. And
Let me put it this way: if they were waging a war against anime-related artwork, Sakimi-chan's Patreon would be shut down. And last I checked, that woman makes about $30,000 a month.
Oh, Merryweather.
No, Sakimi-chan.
Oh, okay. I know Merryweather's a big one on Patreon too.
Merryweather's a guy.
Yeah, Merryweather is a guy.
I'm talking about Sakimi-chan, but she's primarily a pinup artist.
Right.
She's the one that does those. Let me put it this way: if you've seen it, you know it.
Like, a lot of my artists are on Patreon, so when I heard that I was like, immediately explanation point. Because
like I said,
Ari, she's on Patreon.
Like I said, there's some truth to it, but most of the claims about it have been exaggerated. They're not. It's still kind of stupid because it appears that they might be going after artwork if it depicts characters that just look young enough. Like,
gotcha.
Although most of this came off a Reddit post, so I'm already suspicious.
Oh,
which is about true it actually is.
Fact check. Gotta fact check it.
So yeah, but yeah, like I said, if they're not canceling Sakimi-chan's Twitter, and I don't think they have. If she's bringing in like $30,000 a month, and that says to me she's probably one of their top earners, and they'd be stupid to get rid of her. So
interesting. But yeah, hopefully it doesn't change too much. But hey, there's oh dude, sorry, I don't mean to kind of change topics a little bit, but did you guys hear about all those Crunchyroll webtoon animes that have been coming out?
I don't watch Crunchyroll. They're embezzlers.
What? How do you figure?
They used to be.
No, they used to be a pirate website. They embezzle.
Yeah,
but I think what he wants to know is where's the how do you know what story? Is there any articles about it?
Well,
I think
you know how they're supposed to be sending a percentage of their membership fees back to Japanese animation studios.
They do.
Well, apparently, according to Japan, they haven't been feeling the effects of that.
I was at a Crunchyroll Expo about a year or two ago, and the president of Crunchyroll gave a talk about how many thousands and I think he said almost $1 million that they've given back to the industry. Well, like I said, to hear the Japanese tell it, they haven't felt the effects of it at all. Well, I just don't know if that's necessarily their Crunchyroll's fault, though.
Yeah, I mean, like, you're talking about a percentage. If it's 1 million and you need 10 million, 20 million to really make an effect, it's not really going to make waves over there.
How many studios do they have signed up with them? Because that can be divided.
Yeah, that's the other point.
The
whole percentage is if you've got 6 studios and there's $1 million, then that $1 million is split 6 ways.
I Well, then I guess they don't really help the industry at all.
It's
Well,
better
almost
than
like there's no
nothing.
point.
That's the thing.
I'd
yeah.
almost say like there's no point to them existing.
That's
to be honest,
going way too far, man. That's going way too far because it's much better than pirates who don't give any money back and only profit off of people's hard
Yeah,
work.
that's
Hey, guys.
there's the funny part.
Hey, guys.
Apparently, Japanese studios actually like.
I don't buy that at all.
Actually, like
hey
pirates.
guys,
Yeah, I don't
If
believe
we're-
that.
guys, we're jumping down a rabbit hole that I don't think anyone wants to go down because when you look at it this way, anime studios are scummy as hell because they don't.
Okay.
When it comes to
All right, we're ending the conversation.
adaptations.
Goodbye, y'all. This is the Wikid Podcast. Bye.
Well,
Come
yeah,
on,
they
man.
don't pay they don't give royalties to manga creators on their adaptations.
I don't really think that's the case for every situation.
Well, if they're creator owned in the United States, you get royalties no matter what.
Yeah, I mean, things aren't. I mean, at least say what you want about the states. We at least get a bare minimum of protection for creator rights.
I mean, I know Hajime Isayama made millions off the Attack on Titan anime, so I really don't think that's the case in every situation. I mean, and if you look at Manga Rock, for example, like I know they got a lot of hate for what they did, but at the same time, just like Crunchyroll, they turned that situation around and learn from the experience. So I do believe in redemption, and I do believe that we should at least. If Crunchyroll is supporting them in the slightest, that's still enough in my eyes. So
That was our conversation on. Oh God, man! I guess this will finish our conversation. Anime. Anime was a mistake, says Mondo. And that wraps up our conversation.
I wonder if he's quoting Miyazaki there.
You mean that misquote by Miyazaki?
But the states aren't exactly 100% track record either. Like, look at the guy who came up with the new Guardians of the Galaxy. He didn't get a whole lot for coming up with like Rocket Raccoon and Groot and all those characters.
Or Jim Starlin.
Yeah, see.
Or the guy who wrote what is it, The Witcher? He's just now getting his recognition for the games.
Or Bill Finger.
Yeah. So
things used to be really bad. Like I would Marvel and DC they don't protect they don't exactly protect creators. Like that's why I kind of liken working at the big two to basically working at fast food in the comics industry.
Yeah.
It's like
that's funny, man.
Yeah, it's like but whereas like if you go independent, you actually can make more money that way.
And you have more control too.
Yeah. It seems like it's like it only seems to me like working at the big two seems to be more of a status symbol than anything.
Well, yeah, it's all about the status that comes with it because Marvel and DC are, no matter what you think about it, they're recognized products.
Yeah, no, that's very true. Yeah.
And it used to be an achievement to score a solo title.
I don't know, just if it's a status symbol, then it reminds me of what cell phones used to be like when I was in high school.
Well, the thing is, no matter, despite how much trash Marvel puts out, it's going to be recognizable because of the MCU.
For better and for worse.
Probably for worse.
But I'm sorry, you guys. I actually have to hop off because my phone's about to die and I'm having technical difficulties, and so is this.
Well, Natalie, get yourself one of those charging pads. You can buy them dirt cheap at Walmart.
I need to get one of those for sure. I'm lucky I could even find my wired charger. I'll lose that too, or break it most likely.
All right. You have a good day.
You can follow us real quick before you go.
You can just follow my Instagram, instagram.com/Jupiter_Ripple. We actually changed the handle. We changed the handle because I'm not just making one comic anymore. So it's like, if I want to share updates for them, I'm going to have to put them on Instagram. So basically that's where you can find all of my projects and me right there. But
Well, that's awesome.
Huh?
Thank you so much. I was just saying that's great, and I appreciate you joining with us today.
Yep. Thank you guys. Have a good day and stay safe.
You too. Stay
well.
safe. Take care.
Right. Bye, guys.
All right. So yeah, we got a little bit more time left on this segment here of the podcast, so we'll keep going for a bit.
Back door.
And there goes my door singing. Oh boy.
You're in trouble.
God, get out of here. I don't want any. I swear it wasn't me. Blarg. That's a Red vs. Blue reference if anyone didn't know.
Blargy Brog.
Matt and I know. Matt and I know that one.
Oh man, yeah, I want to watch some more Red vs. Blue.
I think the funniest joke from the more recent seasons came from season 10, where Church comes back, finds out that Caboose has latched onto Agent Washington, and his response was, "I just got dumped by Caboose. I can't fucking believe it." And then Caboose replies, "It's not me, it's you."
Yeah, that sounds about right. Yeah. I like the running joke they do where they start off like they'll say like basically some sort of variation on that was the worst fucking throw of all time.
Which started with Agent Washington.
Yeah. And then you'll just do the whole of all time thing. They redo that joke a number of times. But,
yeah,
that's a good. If anyone hasn't watched it in forever, it's definitely worth going back because they definitely change over the seasons and get more like action packed and kind of higher budgets.
Yeah, but I think one of the reasons why there's been a drop off in audience is because there are people who got drawn into it by seasons 1 through 5, and now it's become not a bunch of idiots, but a bunch of idiots tripping over saving the world.
Yeah, I will agree that I'm sure there is a good number of that happening. But personally, I think more what happened is I think Bernie was just a better writer than some of the other writers they've had.
Yeah, Miles.
Yeah, Miles wasn't the greatest writer, and I don't know who's writing it now, but Bernie just had a real connection to the characters, I feel like, and he wrote them really well.
Oh yeah, he created them.
Yeah, I'm sure that helps too. But he just had they're just so well written. And, yeah, I just love those original 10 seasons.
Although I'm going to say that the reason why Caboose has stayed the same is because Joel has complete control.
Oh man, yeah, such a good series though. But yeah, anybody gonna be watching the Invisible Man this weekend? They just came out on demand.
Nah.
Not interested, man. It's certified fresh on Rotten Tomatoes.
Oh wow, it's certified fresh on Rotten
Like
Tomatoes.
that.
You know what else is Rotten?
Rise of Skywalker is certified fresh on Rotten Tomatoes.
Isn't Ghostbusters 2016 also fresh too?
Certified fresh. That shit is rotten as hell. So yeah,
the only score that matters is the audience score.
Yeah, that's right. I always love to look at the difference between the critic and the audience score because it almost never matches. It's so funny, dude.
Like for perspective, critics pan Godzilla King of the Monsters. Audiences love it.
Yeah, exactly. Oh man.
Yeah,
I saw that movie first.
I still need to see episode 9 of Star Wars so I can form my own opinion.
It's out on demand this week.
Yeah, I still need to see Joker as well.
Yeah, me too. I'm gonna get Joker, I think, and Star Wars this week probably.
The only way you'll get me to watch the Ghostbusters, the Star Wars sequels, is if it's got riff tracks involved.
Fair enough. You're the only way.
I couldn't be forced to watch those movies at gunpoint.
Did you not see any of the new ones?
I stopped watching after Rogue One, and I'm fine with that.
You didn't see 8 then either?
I have not seen a Star Wars movie since Rogue One, and I am okay with that.
I think that includes 8.
Are you gonna watch The Mandalorian?
Come up with that.
Maybe, maybe not. I'm not interested in it enough to seek it out right now.
See, I'm waiting. I haven't got my Disney Plus yet, but I'm honestly I'm kind of waiting until they drop the first Marvel show.
The only Disney movie that I can't wait to see is the Honey I Shrunk the Kids sequel, because Rick Moranis,
right, back from the legendary place he's been hiding in. He's back.
Yeah, retirement and raising his kids.
You know,
my God.
I came up with the perfect Batman role for him.
Really?
Oh.
Yeah, I think they should do a Batman movie with Rick Moranis as the ventriloquist.
You know, that would work. That would work.
Thing is, Moranis, I think, has done well enough for himself that he's able to invest his money wisely, so he can pick and choose what roles he wants, and if it allows him a certain degree of freedom, he'll do it.
Speaking of Batman, has anyone seen the still shots from that upcoming Robert Pattinson movie?
Yeah.
Yeah, am I the only one who looked at the Batman in that movie and said that thing looks like Kit?
Oh, the Batmobile?
Yeah. I looked at that Batmobile and said it looked like I can't be the only one who's thinking it looks like Kit.
We'll know for sure when it goes.
So what you're saying is that we should have an older Batman movie with David Hasselhoff.
Maybe.
You need it.
Didn't they try to reboot Knight Rider? Did that go anywhere?
Yeah, they did.
It's emphasis on tried. And it was awful. It was bad, and everyone involved should feel bad.
Like the Bionic Woman remake.
I didn't even know they did that. I'm just so out of.
I forgot that thing exists. You know what? I almost am willing to bet they thought they were trying to write off the popularity of the Battlestar Galactica reboot, because I remember it being around at the same time.
No doubt about that.
That series was really good in the beginning, and then
first 3 seasons were great, but the 4th season was weird.
I think that a lot of shows have been having that problem where they get something good and then they just kind of start stretching the dough too thin.
The problem with the okay, here's the thing: Battlestar Galactica reboot. It was great when it was about when it was portraying what life was like in the fleet, and like how desperate the situation was and the toll it was taking on the characters. Then the 4th season decided to get weird and metaphysical, and it was like so many things got crammed into that season,
because
not one thing was well developed about it, and then it felt like they were trying to rush to the end
because they didn't know what they were doing at the end. They admitted that they had no idea about the story after they killed off Starbuck.
They could have.
Which is why
they could have gone on without her.
They should have had an outline. They should have had the ending all planned out. Because that was just.
Have you guys ever seen a show called Dark?
Doesn't ring a bell.
I've heard about it.
So Dark is the same kind of thing where it started off really good. It's a German show. You can watch it on Netflix. Really cool ideas, really good first couple seasons, but then like the last season that aired, I was just kind of like, it's doing that thing. I won't spoil it though, because again, like the first couple seasons are worth watching. It's what's the mix? It's got a little bit of Back to the Future and then something else that's eluding me right now. But it is very conceptually cool. And spoiler, there is some time travel stuff.
I realized this, that Hollywood's beginning to do this whole thing where they screw everything up because they want to do something very different, such as, and it started off with Battlestar Galactica, where it just dropped off at the end, much like, say, Game of Thrones.
Game of Thrones dropped off around season 5, to be honest.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it really got panned by season 8.
Did you hear George R. R. Martin's supposedly going to finish his novel?
Yeah, it takes a pandemic to do it.
Yeah. That's hilarious, huh?
Boy, is he never
he is one of the people. He is among the demographic most at risk of dying from corona.
Well, have you seen him? He's probably in the top 10.
Well, you guys know how he writes, right?
Yeah, he writes from an old DOS computer.
Yeah, like he uses a word processor that nobody uses anymore, and he 2-finger types.
Well, so did Harlan Ellison, and he used a typewriter. But he was able to get thousands of articles and short stories out.
No.
Yeah, and guess what? Harlan Ellison ain't got shit on Walter Gibson. Walter Gibson could crank out 40 to 50 pages in a day.
Some people got it fast like that, and others got it slow.
Well, with George...
Well, I'm not making this up when I say Walter Gibson holds the record for... I'm not making this up when I say Walter Gibson holds the world record for most words typed.
I'm not going to doubt that.
My plug is, we're pretty much at the end of time, but I just want to plug Berserk real quick. Go read Berserk. That's my plug.
Don't watch the 2016 series.
Don't watch any of the anime. In fact, you can watch the original, but I wouldn't even recommend it. Just dive into the anime, man. Dive into manga.
The 90s anime was good, though.
It was good. It was definitely good, but the manga is just so good. The manga is amazing.
It is. Oh yeah, the manga is. It's just that with all the technical limitations the anime had to overcome, it's amazing. It's good at all.
Well, that's true. Yeah, you're right. It is a very good point. And if you want to get a taste of how watch the original '90s anime and then finish the manga, that's another way you could do it too. If you want a taste of it.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so we're pretty much. I guess we're at the end of our time here. I appreciate you guys joining up with us, and why don't we give out our plugs so people can check out all your stuff you got going on.
All right, so so as far as the Mythoverse goes, we have an official Mythoverse Twitter. It is just Mythoverse. If I remember correctly, let me double check. Our Instagram it's Mythoverse Comics, right, Matt?
I believe so.
Let me double check. I'm looking at it right now. Yeah, Mythoverse Comics on Instagram. Our editor-in-chief and partner, Dan, is at Dan_Sakharov on Twitter. I'm at Celtic Brett on Twitter.
And I am at Matt Trend on Twitter.
Very nice, man. And you guys play your YouTube channel as well already?
Yeah, that would be just YouTube search Mythoverse and you'll find us.
Very nice. And how about you, Scott?
You can follow me on Twitter. It's at Kishkumen, KYSHKUMEN, and you can follow me on Instagram at Wrath Graphic Novel. And you can, don't forget, you can go pick up Wrath digitally at the Wikid store and check out the sale on all the digital and physical comics they have over there. Keep yourself busy.
Thanks, man. I appreciate the plug with that. In fact, I'll go ahead and put up the link for the store so that people can go check it out. Like, we got all the digital stuff at 99 cents right now with a really great lineup. So,
I just remembered. I almost forgot. There's also our Patreon at Mythoverse Comics.
Very nice. Yeah, definitely. Patreon is always a good way to support Mythiverse as well.
Yeah, and you can you can support us for as little as $1 on Patreon.
Very nice, man.
Right. Yeah. Right now, we're trying to achieve our first stretch goal that pays our webcomic artists for a whole month of strips.
Nice. Yeah, well, definitely check that out. I know they got a lot of cool stuff, and I think there's even some exclusive covers coming out there pretty soon too. So a lot of exciting stuff.
Oh yeah, we've got like a series of Patreon exclusive variants that was done by everyone's favorite shit poster, Troy Torres.
Oh, very nice, man. And so as we wrap up here, I just want to put out the link to the site. So if you want to go to check out our store there, you can go check that out. Like I said, they have all the digital comics up there at 99 cents each. So it's definitely a lot of cool stuff. Wrath's up there, Movie Men's up there, Barrels is up there, a whole bunch of good stuff. Barrels number 2. And we also got everything. Jack Ryan's 1 and 2.
Mythiverse will soon be there, right?
Oh yeah, I'm sure it would. In fact, it's as soon as you guys give me the word, it'll be up there. Whenever you guys want.
So it'll be there soon.
Excellent.
Eventually.
Pretty soon, yeah. Once everyone gets their physicals, I would think.
Unfortunately, that might be a while because of the mail service.
No, actually, luckily, I looked up on. I was doing a little research on it. The USPS says they shouldn't really be having anything affected by the coronavirus right now. So
yeah. I mean, I was able to get a couple spare proofs mailed to my dad and sister with no problem.
Yeah, so we should be good to go. I think the comics should start rolling in on Monday, and then we'll go from there.
I mean, they gave you tracking numbers, so you'll be able to keep up to date anyway, right?
Yeah, I think so.
I will be posting when I get mine.
Please post pictures. I would really appreciate that. And yeah, so awesome, guys. Go check out that, and we appreciate you coming in and checking out the show, joining with us, and hanging out in the live chat over here. And with everything going on, we'll definitely keep doing more shows, man. We'll still be here for you guys, bringing out new comics and bringing the new entertainment for you, so you got something to do. And
unless of course the internet goes down.
If the internet goes down, we'll have a lot more problems.
Oh goodness.
Hey, but we'll still be out there, man. If you need to get us by carrier pigeon or some sort of message in a bottle situation, Pony Express, we got multiple options out there for Wikid. So rain or shine, we deliver. That's right. All right, guys. Well, appreciate it again, and thanks again for joining us on this Wikid podcast. We'll definitely see you guys on the next one. Take care, guys.
All right, bye.